know what time it is. You guys know what day it is. It is officially our Sex UnBanned show.
Hey, my love.
With, you heard her, Miss Tyranikia D. Chappelle. Hey, now, hey.
Fucking ass. I was just telling Kim how fine I am. I said over. Can I say what I said earlier? No? Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, y'all. So what I had said was, because Kim was over here and she said, "You look good on camera." I said, "Wait, hold up." I said, "Girl, look, my pretty fine fucking ass." I cussed started too late now. But it don't sound right. Let's just say the whole thing, Kim.
I know.
It's a thing.
It's okay. Go ahead.
It's like saying Burger King. You got to say the whole thing. Can't just say burger. No, I got to say, okay, I'm going to say it again. This is my shit with my fine fucking ass. That's what I say. Either way it go, I was looking at my fine fucking ass. And I say, I would fuck the shit out of me and buy me whatever I want.
So with that said, we're officially in our Sex UnBanned show.
Hey, y'all, what's up? Y'all missed me? Because I know I wasn't here last week. But I'm back. Hey, my love.
So, girl, let us know our topic for today.
Ooh, so our topic for today, you know what? Let me go ahead and just say a few things about my dear, dear friend, my special guest, Miss Sheina Machelle. And we are talking today about lupus, but we're talking about lupus in the space of sexual health. Me and Sheina talk all the time about different things when it comes to sexual health, and even the fact when it comes to lupus, because I didn't realize how much I did not know. And talking to her, listening to her experiences and, her knowledge, it was just like, wow. A lot of things I started to do my own research and realized there's a lot that goes into sexual health when coming to individuals who are dealing with different things, right? So I wanted to open the space, one, because Sheina also made me aware that May is Lupus Awareness Month.
Oh.
I didn't know that, but I do now. And with that being said, I said I wanted to do it in May, but, things didn't fall in place. However, it doesn't matter because there's no such thing as a designated time to make people aware of anything.
And we were held captive in Dominican Republic.
Oh, DR. That's
a story for another day.
We're going to make that a part of my next. I'm going to start a segment. I said I'm going to start a segment called The Audacity. And that's going to title whoever had the audacity.
Well, you know what? That is a good segue into the first portion of the show where there was a recent incident between Sukihana and what's his name? YK
Osiris.
Yeah. Chex Mix, whatever.
You say? Yeah. Why she like she is, y'all?
What is this man's name?
YK Osiris. Wait, is YK Osiris?
No, YK Osiris. So not OO, but just Osiris.
Gotcha.
Child, Oasis. So,
girl!
What? But, okay.
Not ISIS.
So I'm going to hand it over to you, girl. Because what?
So, yes, that's a lot of names. He got one of them, unique. Anyway, go. Point is this, y'all. So, yes, we Kim sent me the clip. I forget whoever the person was, and either way go, but the clip showed YK Osiris basically sexually assaulting Sukihana. And then after that, there was another where she was on Candy Boris's show, and her co-host A1, I think A1, he also verbally sexually assaulted her. And I just thought I just think it's time to make space for these conversations, because I feel like, we're having them, but when we're having them, it's definitely from an argumentative space. And even some of the comments that I was reading, it's like, wait a second, do we really believe some of the stuff that we say? Because everyone's out here and we're screaming, black girl magic and girl power and, protect the black woman, but we're continuously in spaces where these things are not happening. So when everyone is yelling and you're supporting and all of these things, when it look good for them, but when it's time to show up, why aren't we showing up?
Right.
So I definitely want to open up and talk about that for a little while. Yeah, like I just could not believe what I was watching. Like, and for me, what stood out first was the fact that everybody in each of those incidents those people who were around her, they were all uncomfortable. But not one person said anything. Even if you weren't going to come to her defense, you weren't going to take and defend your own self. Like, you literally sat there and watched this.
Right.
Why didn't anybody say anything? And then I ended up seeing, because the first video was like Lil Duval, he was in it. When the guy actually kissed her. It was another video I saw going down a rabbit hole, like I tend to do before I start talking about people and stuff, where he was in a situation, they were talking, but it looked like, well, how they were talking, he was telling her about the same dialogue. Like, he want to, you know, have sex with her, and she should, because she talk about how good her stuff is and all this different stuff. And I'm like, and it seemed like the outfit that he was wearing in the video where the dude kissed her, he was wearing the same outfit then. So it seemed like it could have been transitional. Yeah. Anyway, so like I said, watching that part, and I'm listening to how you talking to her, I'm realizing like, okay, but now you in this space, you were just talking all this same shit, just saying all the same stuff in the same context, just about as A1, but he wasn't as aggressive, I'll say that. But then you turn around and now you in spaces where somebody actually does assault her, like acting on some of the stuff that you say. Now he said those things, but like acting on some of the things that are said, and you're sitting right there and you uncomfortable in this space. So meaning, really, how much of this is play and how much of this is serious? And when it gets serious, why aren't we taking and doing anything about it?
Well, Opie, since you know this man's name, because what is his name again?
OK Osiris. Oh, YK Osiris.
Yeah, YK Osiris.
I say OK Osiris.
Orange chicken.
He ain't gonna ever have his name according to
Worcestershire sauce, whatever his name is. Opie, what did you think of the incident?
I honestly thought it was a little bit left, to be completely honest with you. And you're right. When everyone's sitting there, it did feel uncomfortable. I did watch the Candy interview too. She did say something. She was like, she noticed that she was uncomfortable, so she acknowledged her uncomfortable, but she never asked dude to stop.
But even the way she did it, I feel like she only did it enough because she was trying to, it's the way that she tried to diffuse a situation that was messed up. Because my thing is this here, if her daughter was sitting right there, would she have said, you're just aggressive? Had that been her little cousin or her niece or her daughter's friend, would she have said that?
No, she would have called him out for what it was. Like, all right, stop.
But it's good for TV. I think it was good for TV, so she didn't say anything.
Exactly. No, she didn't go as far as she could have.
Right.
It's like, okay, you're uncomfortable. You acknowledge the uncomfortable, but just tell him to stop. Like, all right, that's enough. We got it. That's the point as far as that situation. YK Osiris, that was, I don't know, because he's a kid. He's a kid. 20, I guess 23, 24. He's pretty young. You know what I'm saying?
I think we gotta stop that. That's that boys club talk. Like, oh, I not to cut you off and to disagree, come back with you, but it's more the fact, like, when we say stuff like that, we make it okay for them to behave in this manner. Yeah. He know for a fact at 22, 24 years old, he shouldn't walk around and stick his hand in someone's vulva.
No, not at all.
So you know how far you should and shouldn't go. But the fact about it is, it's just certain things. It's like, okay, I can do this because this is not too much. No, touching her is too much.
Yeah, especially unwanted touching.
Yeah, so like I said, not to cut you off, but yeah, like, and I think sometimes in spaces, sometimes women, we okay a lot of that stuff because we don't open up and say as much as we should or could be saying.
That part.
So him being young, I think that's it. I understand him being young. Yes, that's a factor in why he may have behaved the way he did. But you can't even say that, because how old is A1? He looked like he quite old.
He older than me.
Right. So the fact that, so can we really say age?
He's her DJ.
Is it good?
I mean, he's done like verses and stuff. He's Escapes DJ.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, got it. Oh.
Yeah, either way, go whomever he is the fact that, again, with age, like, can we really say age is a factor in it? I'm asking, like, not a judgment space, just more of an asking.
I don't think so. I think it's more the upbringing.
That's fair.
I really feel like it's upbringing, because I mean, nowadays people see things and just do what they see. That's how you really talk, but in reality, there's nobody else.
He really talk how he be rapping? That's his real voice?
He be singing, girl.
Oh, he's a singer?
He's a singer. I will give you the...
Oh, please don't do that. I hate this song.
See?
I haven't heard
You don't
Girl, don't. When I tell you, it's such a piercing sound in my ears. I be ready to go through and like put a sock in his throat.
I have to Google this kid.
Girl, like my daughter, she played that song in the car, looked at her, gave her the nastiest. She knew for a fact, let me go ahead and change this right fast. But I thought he really like that's what I'm saying. Like, so the voice that's got to be auto-tune, right?
Yeah, that's definitely.
Oh, I'm hoping, because I'm like, if he
That's
walk
a
around
lot
sounding
of
like that, yo, it's a problem.
That's a lot of auto.
They need to calm that down. That's a bit much. It's a bit much.
Oh, weak.
You know, I mean, good for him and his success and all that, but that's a bit much. I need them to really give him another niche or something.
And to note, just as an update for those of you who are listening and, you know, watch this back, he did apologize to her. Suki did accept the apology and said that she's willing to move forward, but it was just still one of those things where let's acknowledge that when a woman says stop or is uncomfortable, keep it at that and don't keep trying to pressure or push yourself, you know, onto someone, because like you and I had the conversation, you know, yesterday or the day prior, with some men, I'm not going to say all, because there were definitely a good amount of men that were coming to her defense.
Right.
What some men need to realize is when something is unwarranted or unwanted, it doesn't matter if that girl was a stripper, if she said she wanted a dick in her ass, in her mouth, or whatever have you. She doesn't want you. She doesn't want your attention. She doesn't want you to touch her. At that moment, that's when she's telling you, look, this is sexual assault. If you're continuing to move on with your advances, you know. So I think hopefully this is a lesson that he learns when it comes to consent. And I need other people to also learn that lesson as well, because I hate that people immediately demonized her and completely took away the fact that she's still a human at the end of the day.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because that's what me and Sheina was talking about it prior to, you know, us starting. That's the one thing I said. People taking it removed her humanity because of her persona and her openness to talk about her sex life and, you know, whatever else that is. In that case, if we're going to do stuff like that, then we have to hold him accountable in different ways, because that means his apology is not real. Have you heard his lyrics? Like, he consistently disrespects women. So it's like, can we really say he's sorry? Because if we're going to go by and we're going to judge her and say this is who she is by the rap music or the music that she makes, then you need to apply that all around the board. Because in that case, he don't respect women. He don't care about women. He don't believe in consent. If we're going to do that, then we have to take and hold everybody accountable all around the board. So even with saying that, not to say his apology wasn't sincere, because I don't know him to judge who he is. But at the end of the day, I feel like she's going to get so much more backlash as she already did, and she's the victim. Like, it's just, it's crazy. You know, we didn't even get Sheina's point. Sheina, what do you have to say about it? We talked a lot. What are your thoughts?
I think he's trash.
What is that?
Look, I was going to try to be eloquent about it, but there's really no point. I hate that women are so hyper visible and invisible at the same time. So other people can be hypersexual about our bodies, but we can't. Like, any man, you got Snoop talking about, you know, ain't no fun unless the homies get some. You know, you got Scarface and Sex Faces. We got this. Bootsy Collins, he gonna stick his love in your eye. Like,
you went way back for it.
I mean, because it's not new. It's not a new condition. But you have women who decided to lay claim to their own pot of gold, and now everybody got a problem with it. So I'm not supposed to claim my autonomy, my sexuality, my anything. Like, I'm just supposed to hold up and wait for you to plug me in and charge me up. Like, where did they do that at? So I think the whole situation is trash. I believe that across the board, like, if we don't start protecting women just on GP, like, this is not getting better. Because if all those guys sat there and nobody said anything, nobody tapped him on the shoulder, nobody tugged on the shirt, nobody was like, hey man, there was nothing. Everybody was just looking on shocked, like, are we doing this? Right? So if that's going to be the response, something else has to change. This whole situation was garbage. I don't care if the girl walks around looking like Little Kim at the BET Awards. Mm-hmm. Like, if she don't want to be touched, she don't want to be touched. Mm-hmm. And you know, and that's.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say that's not complicated. Like, autonomy shouldn't be a complicated issue. Mm-hmm. It just shouldn't. Sexual or unsexual autonomy shouldn't be a complicated issue. Like, I understand we need to talk about it, but if I don't want to be touched, I don't want to be touched. Mm-hmm. That's not complicated. That's not rocket science. That's not third, fourth grade. Well, second grader will punch you in your eye if you touch them and they don't want to be touched. Because they understand, if I don't want to be touched, I don't want to be touched. Mm-hmm. Like, so he's what? That boy is 24. He old enough to go to the military, smoke weed, sign contracts, and drive cars. He can understand. He can comprehend if somebody don't want to be touched.
And it's funny you say that, because I would like to add to the fact you talk about signing contracts. I know we're talking about holding the men and the people in the spaces she was in accountable, but we also have to hold her people accountable. Where was her manager? Where was her security guard? What is going on?
Right.
Nobody was there to actually protect her, because how was he able to come into space and grab her in the way that he did, and nobody, not the people around her, but nobody from her team, how come nobody showed up and did anything? So who's really protecting Sukiyana then? Mm-hmm. So like I said, we're going to hold people accountable, everybody across the board. What's going on with the people? Why aren't they providing safe spaces for her? Where's her mama? Where her brothers, her cousin, her best friend from 8 years ago? Like, where is somebody?
For real.
Yeah, like, so who, again, in these spaces, what else is going on and what else needs to happen? Because, of course, we can't, I will say this, because I'm a logical person. We can't always take and say, yeah, you know, the people in these spaces, they should have said something, because realistically, they don't have to say shit. And that's just a fact. They, of course, morally they should, but factually they don't have to say shit. The people that's supposed to be protecting her, the people that's on her team, where were they? What happens there? And how come nobody's saying nothing? Like, I find it very interesting after the fact, when Kate, what's his name?
Why?
Oh yeah, YK Osiris, when he made the announcement, the apology, and they posted it. I saw that Sukiyana's mother, she responded to saying something. First of all, where's the level of protection before this even happens? Because I can tell you one thing, you ain't gonna touch a follicle on mine head. Listen, that child know one thing, her mama gonna kill behind her. So where was the team put in place? So like I said, outside of the people, what else is going on with her? Like, but
that's the thing. It's the base. It's a foundational basic concept of is she worth protecting? Because if they thought she was worth protecting, it would have already been in place. Because nobody would have got within 10 feet of Beyonce.
Didn't I say that? I literally said that when I saw that. I literally said that.
Nobody would have got within 10 feet of Beyonce, Jennifer Lopez, you know, so it's in that space they've assigned a specific worth to her. Because anybody else who's made it further in their career, who they feel has more value, that panel would have looked different, because there would have been guards on either side of that panel. There would have been somebody, you know, on her team. She probably would have been on a panel by herself had they decided that she was quote unquote worth it. So
yeah, you know, let's hold that thought, because I want to continue what you getting ready to say. We need to take a break real fast. All right, y'all, we'll be right back.
It's TDS Radio. Your girl So Fab here, and we are in our Sex UnBanned segment with Tyra.
I love how she say that, y'all. She just say sex unbanned. See, look, even Obi catch it every time. Cause that's just how I don't be.
Come on,
she like this here.
Yeah,
that's how it look. You should start saying like that. You say just like move your body. I'm trying to guess how you beside. I'm like, look at her over there.
We've been laughing for an hour and a half straight. That's enough.
Good. Laugh is good for the soul. That's what they say.
But back to the Sex UnBanned.
I wish I could have saw her age. She got too excited about that.
We done.
It's all right. You sure? I'm ready for it again. I like what you said. Yeah, I said my name when you after you miss my name.
With Tyra Chappelle.
Oh yes, Yes, baby. She said that. I had to lean back on that.
Let it process.
Look. You know what's good? Snacky lip. Okay, I'm gonna stop, y'all. I'm gonna stop.
So sorry to our guests today.
I know Sheina. You know, look, Sheina talk to me. She know what it is. She know.
I mean, I'm just here.
She just say she just gonna be here and be the lovely she is.
Yes, girl.
But anyway, back to your point, Sheina. To finish your point when you were saying about her value of being protected.
It's what value they've assigned to her. Mm-hmm. It's whether it be the record label, whether it be, because we don't know how she's doing it. We don't know if she's on an independent contract. We have no clue how she's structured. But whomever is handling her, whomever is doing that, obviously only sees a certain value. Because you don't allow your prize, whatever, your top winner, your top earner, your best singer, your strongest swimmer, your strongest runner, you don't let them just exist. Mm-hmm. There are certain things that are put in place to make sure they stay safe, protected, healthy, whatever it is. You protect your investment. Mm-hmm. So whatever they've assigned to her is how they're responding.
That's a fair perspective. I hadn't thought about it like that. Mm-hmm. So like I said, in that space, how much do we hold the people who the outsiders looking at? How much do we hold them accountable, and how much do we take and hold her team accountable? Because it seems like it's, or are we in space where we can say it needs to be more of a communicative response to the situation?
And herself, does she feel like she's deserving of security?
Right.
That's a good point.
You know, because I mean, that's something to where if you value yourself, you be like, make sure these niggas don't touch me. Period.
The thing about it is, even if what you saying that, what if it's not the fact that she devalues herself? What if she's in a space where it's like she feels like this is what she has to do, this is what I have to accept because I'm in this space and I got this, I got that, because I want to stay relevant, I want to continue this here, I want to grow, make money, all these different things. Like, what if that's the space? What if she doesn't feel like she can value herself?
I think then that's when it still comes down to her and then her team. Because you can be sexy, you can be as vulgar as you want to be, but at the end of the day, you still don't get to touch me.
That's right.
You know, so I mean, I haven't really seen anybody do stuff like that, like you said, with Janet, Madonna, Lil' Kim, Bobby Brown,
Angela. What's the other one that was real raunchy?
Which one?
What's that girl name? Always forget her name. So she want to kiss Britney Spears. Christina Aguilera.
Let Christina Aguilera live.
Because I'm telling you,
she look like she stink. I'm like, no, wait a minute.
Y'all remember Christina Aguilera? Y'all remember when she
in the bottle first, girl?
Did you see the genie? Did you see the genie? Sister always look quite grungy, okay? Quite grungy.
She look a little dingy sometimes, but you know
she cleaned up good for her. She look good before. Well, I'm just saying. But at the end of my point is here, no matter what it is that she said and what she did, nobody came and did anything like that to her. Like I said, Janet Jackson with her fine fucking ass. Janet is nasty. Y'all remember? Listen, sis got a whole song where she moaning and singing in a whole different language. Listen to me, I done crossed my legs many days of that song. Saying like, But I know for a fact if I'm in space and I'm gonna walk up to him and be like, remember what you had said?
Or somebody grab her face, the Janet Jackson?
Literally. But even the fact, not even just her value, but the fact, like, Noah to another point was talking about people being in a strip club. This is a space specifically for sex. This is what this space is. But you have more respect in this space than to touch a woman's body and you can literally see her body. You have more respect for her here than on the outside world. How does that make sense? I guarantee you one thing, K.O. Cyrus, he wouldn't be in the damn strip club. He wouldn't be at
TKO Knockout with it.
I said his name wrong again?
I don't know what that name is.
They gonna cancel our ass.
Oasis team gonna come after us in the comments.
I know they gonna come get us.
Fuck y'all. Whatever.
Right. Change your name.
Right.
Not that
Listen
sketchy.
here, Y2K.
Yes, that'd have been a cute name. Anyway, point is this here. Why can't stop? What is it again? YK. I'm gonna get that shit. Now I'm determined to say it right. YK Osiris. How did I got my fucking point? Oh yeah. Point is this here. He wouldn't be in the strip club taking and putting his hands all over a woman. Like I said, but him to come out to the outside world think it's okay. And even know what, let me take it back. Even if he does do that in that particular space, you know for a fact it's not okay on the outside world. You just saw her and was like, you can do that because you, and know what, in a space, I'll say this, he may have been, or has been, I would say rather, in a space where he's literally been getting whatever he wanted. There's nothing he can't think of that's not available. Nothing he can't think of that somebody won't do. It's just there. So now you in this space where it's like, oh, I could do what I want because I have. No, you can't. Even with the money you have, the clout you have, whatever that is, you still can't.
And just as a quick note before we go to our actual topic at hand, guys also need to remember, do you want somebody doing that to you? You want somebody taking their finger and running it up your butt cheeks?
What I said, we gonna sit and hold her accountable because she walk around naked and say the stuff that she's saying? Guess what? Every man that walk around with his damn ass cheeks, his pants hanging below his ass cheeks and his dick hanging out, somebody need to go and take and slap his balls, stick their finger in his crack, and see if we have the same conversation. I want to see what happens.
It needs to be a social media clip. Slap his balls.
Poke. Slap poke.
And see how y'all like that.
I'm just saying.
Because they get very
you know what
defensive.
else? Here's a better one. If that's the case, if we're going to do that, then women should be able to walk up to a guy, take his wallet out, take money out of it.
Girl, listen.
If we gonna say that, because I'm just saying things that you hear, or women want money, or women that's that other. Okay, if that's how you feeling, then how about that then?
Right.
If you consider that to be disrespectful for a woman to take and approach you about money, then we gonna hold you accountable.
Give me that $47 in your wallet.
Not for why have you odd number, Kim? Not 47. He could have had 45. She could have been funny and said 40, like the 40 on the table.
She said break his 50 some sort of way, so 47.
Or he hit a golf for he hit a blunt. Had to break the 54 blunt. All right, I'm outside.
Let's get to our topic.
Okay.
So, your topic for the day is?
Yes, so the topic for today is lupus and sexual health. And I'm going to give Miss Sheina the space to introduce herself because, like I said, she's a very near dear friend of mine. She's amazing in so many spaces, and I'm so happy for the work that she's doing when it comes to lupus awareness. I just had to bring her in a space and make her grand, entrance. Now come on in here, Miss Ma'am. Who you is?
Look at here. Don't look. This ain't it's Friday night. I'm supposed to be late. You over here being all emotional and sweet. That's wait a minute. Are we supposed to be UnBanned tonight?
Well, I mean, I was trying to be, nice, but I could be.
I mean, I get it though. I get it. Hey, like everybody said, hi, I'm Sheina, lupus advocate, poet, writer, all around just homegirl, but my heart is with lupus advocacy, for so many different reasons. Aside from the fact that I live with lupus, lupus is one of those things that affects a lot of people, and we just don't know. So much is not known about lupus. For all we know, there's so much that we don't. Mm-hmm. And it appears, I'm not going to throw the medical community under the bus, but it appears that there's not a lot of effort to understand it. So advocacy is vital because so many people out there have never heard of it. And then when they get diagnosed, they're like, I don't know anybody with lupus. What is that? I had an aunt that died of that. Like, but people don't have a grasp on what it is. It's an autoimmune disorder, but your body is fighting against itself. Mm-hmm. So you're in a space where your antibodies, your cells are attacking themselves because they feel like they're the foreign invader. So it's like they're friendly firing on themselves. And that wreaks havoc. That's everything from rashes to bone deterioration to organ inflammation or organ failure. Mm-hmm. It can open you up to chronic infections because you're not able to fight off things the way you should be. Mm-hmm. Inflammation is rampant. I mean, if it's on your body, it can be inflamed. And so that's everything from fatigue to bone density loss with some of the medications, hair loss, vision issues, breathing issues, mobility, pain, nerve issues. So there's this ever existing list, this plethora of things that can cause issues. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So I'm always out spreading the word.
As you should be. And actually, I want to let you know how appreciative I am for that, because I'll be honest to say, when I'm made aware of it, I feel deeply about it and I want to know more. But sometimes, we can be in spaces because it may not be something that we deal with. It can almost be out of sight, out of mind. Not necessarily that's right. Cared about, but it's not something that's a pressing matter for me on a daily basis. But when I see you, I hear you, it makes me more aware, makes me more empathetic, and also sympathetic. So that leads me into my first topic I would like to talk about when it comes to lupus, and like I said, showing empathy and sympathy. What does that look like when dating?
Oh, child. That would look like, ideally, someone having the wherewithal to ask questions that are baseline questions and listen or do their own research. I have been out with guys, I've been out on dates where a guy has Googled it. He has, but I've also had the first question out of a guy's mouth be like, "What is that? Is that like an STD? Can I catch that?"
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, and it's not an uncommon question.
What?
I wish I could say I've only heard that once, but no, I've been asked, "Is it an STD? Can I catch it? Can I touch you? Like, can I still touch you?" With the stutter, you have to keep the stutter in there. I've gotten asked, "Can you still have sex with that? Wow. You can still have sex with that, right?" And my response to that is always, "Not with you."
Right.
Not with you. If I'm gonna punch my whole card, it's not gonna be with you.
Hello.
No, I'm not burning brain cells for this. But it is. I've gotten guys, and I actually even prefer when a guy goes like, "What is that?" I had an aunt who died of that. I would really rather hear that than someone go, "Can I catch it?" It's disheartening because I'm dating, but in the same breath, it reminds me of why I do this. I've had men who have dated women with lupus who've asked me about lupus. Met a guy who we met because he had on a lupus t-shirt. And somewhere down the line, he asked me about lupus, and I was so confused.
Wait, like
he says, "Well,
I'll make sure I understand. He was wearing a t-shirt.
He was wearing a lupus t-shirt. That's how the conversation started. That's how he got my number. And about a week in, because I asked him what he knew about lupus, and he said, well, he goes to a lupus walk every year for his best friend's wife. And so I was like, oh, okay, so you're familiar with this. So when he asked me about lupus, he says, well, what is lupus? Like, what do you deal with? And I was so stuck. So I said, I'm gonna answer that question, but doesn't your best friend, his wife, have lupus? Like, you don't.
Right.
And his response was, that's her thing. Oh. That's something that she deals with. And I was like, oh wow, that's tragic. I'm going to answer this question, but we're never going to go out on a date. So, just so we're clear, we're never going to go out on a date. But that's okay, to clarify, 9 out of 10 lupus patients are women. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So it affects the majority of patients with lupus are women, mm-hmm. just across the board. Other than Tony Braxton, you have Paula Abdul. You have I just found out Ava DuVernay. That's why she wrote the part in Queen Sugar. One of the characters has lupus, mm-hmm. because it's close to her heart. But the lack of empathy from our counterparts, mm-hmm. It has kind of been labeled a woman issue, mm-hmm. but it's not a reproductive disease, or it's not like period cramps, mm-hmm. So I believe that there's just got to be more education just across the board, because you're going to keep getting stuff. I've had a friend of mine, she said her preacher, her minister, told her lupus was just leprosy. Oh. And it's not the same thing. No, leprosy still exists. It's not even in the same family.
No, not at all. What in the world? What?
So it's already being a woman and dealing with your confidence, dealing with your self-image, and then having people label you untouchable, label you dirty. Like, that's a big thing. Too much of society views people who deal with chronic issues or have disabilities as not deserving of pleasure, mm-hmm. or as pleasureless. Like, yeah, I want to be bent over somebody's balcony.
Yes.
You think because my hip hurt today that I don't want my chakras realigned? No. Yes. No. I want to be folded like a lawn chair. It's just. But it almost boils down to the stigma we have in society about just people being sick.
Right.
So it's so you don't look sick. Oh, well, you weren't sick yesterday. Mm-hmm. Or, oh, you're still sick. And I feel like reading's fundamental, because what does chronic mean? When you deal with something chronically, like that's a consistent thing though, mm-hmm. right? So when you're out having a good day, or you're laughing, or you're feeling like, I want to be touched. Mm-hmm.
So I have
people.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Finish that thought.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, people feel it's almost like you're not supposed to want those things.
Right. And what this actually goes and plays into my question, because do you think people offer empathy and sympathy from what they see, not necessarily what they understand? And by that I mean you made the statement that you don't look sick. You don't look like something's wrong with you. Therefore, nothing is wrong with you. So not offering sympathy and offering the space to be, as you say, bent over the balcony. So, yeah.
I do believe how we perceive the concept of sickness, mm-hmm. how we process what sick is. Mm-hmm. Like, we have this ingrained visual that sick is wheelchairs and crutches and, you know, even colostomy bags, like, but not being well can look like anything.
Right.
But we just have this bias, this pre-existing bias that dealing with any type of sickness, disability, whatever, it has to be a certain visual. There have to be these certain things in place. If you laughed yesterday, you're not sick.
Right.
Like if you had a good time yesterday, then you couldn't possibly be sick.
Right.
And that does hurt. That does hurt the community at large. Absolutely.
Okay, you know, I wanted you to hold that thought because we need to take another quick break, but I want you to finish that thought. So just give us a second. So y'all be right back. Okay. CBS Radio, our voice, our culture. All right, y'all. Hey, we are back. Y'all miss me? Don't look like that, Kim. You missed me even though you ain't left.
Keep it moving. We on a tight time schedule.
Don't do me like that.
Let's go.
Anyway, Sheina, you still there?
Yeah.
So I want to bring it back. So, you know, our conversation before we went and took the break, I want to go back to a point that you made about inflammation of the skin and joint pain. What is that like when actually in spaces where you are intimate with your person or about to be intimate with your person and you find that there is some inflammation or there is some joint pains? Like, what is that like?
For my personal thing is being communicative. Okay. So, this is one of the things about letting someone know I have lupus. Is so that these things are not foreign. So we can have these conversations. So I can tell them there are days where I don't want to be touched because it does hurt. But if I'm in that space and I'm feeling aroused or I want to be intimate, I want to be held, then I just need my partner to be communicative. So if I say, you know, hey, we got like 30 minutes, you know, if he's curious, then I just need him to ask. I need my partner to just talk to me. Communication is the big umbrella.
Okay.
Everything falls under that because every case of lupus is different.
Okay.
So some people might experience more joint pain. Then you have people who don't have sexual issues until they start taking the various medications. And so they may not be certain, like they may not even know that their medication is causing an issue. They just know I'm not aroused, I'm not turned on, like I don't feel anything. And in those spaces, you really have to have an open line of communication with whomever you're intimate with. Like it's vital,
right?
You know.
Right. So with that,
because it's.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just because it's a two-way street. Right. So if my partner is feeling a little frisky, I don't want them to feel like they have to wait for my okay. But you know, talk to me if you're unsure. So
now, and to the point of you saying, you know, communication, what are some tips that you have for someone who may have lupus? Like, how could they communicate with their doctor? Because I know, you know, something else you said in the beginning of the show was when it comes to the medical teams, sometimes there is a space of being dismissed. What are some tips you have for someone to communicate to their doctor, like, hey, this is going on? Because like you said, that it may be actual something that's going on just because of the lupus. But what if it is medication? Like, what are some tips you have to communicate to your doctor that you have something going on? Because, you know, we are aware that even though people are very, you know, open to be sexual, sometimes the topic itself is very taboo, and going into the doctor's office talking when it's not specific about that can be a difficult space for somebody. So What tips do you have?
The encouragement is it's always about that, because it's about you.
That's fair.
It's not about just staying alive and breathing. It's about your quality of living. Mm-hmm. So having intimate spaces is a part of that. Mm-hmm. That's not some separate, far off fantasy issue.
Right.
If you're feeling any kind of way, you say something, because you're your best advocate. Mm-hmm. The statistic is something around 83 to 85% of lupus patients downplay their symptoms to families, friends, and doctors because they don't want to be a burden. They don't want to be seen as complaining. Girl, my doctors are tired of me. They hate seeing me coming because I always have something to say.
That's right.
Because I need to know.
Uh-huh.
I had an issue with my body, and I'm thinking I'm dying. I really, y'all, I'm not playing. I thought I was dying. I was like, what is wrong with me? And it got to the point where I called my doctor. I was like, look, this is a problem. What is, like, is something, am I dying? Like, do you need to check my kidneys? And the doctor goes, oh, yeah, that's a side effect of such and such. And I was like, wait, what? I've been on this medication for almost 2 years, and you're just now telling me that this is a side effect?
Wow.
Oh, brother. Oh. But I should have said something sooner. Because I was like, oh no, you need to take me off of this. They have the medical community has what they call acceptable risks. Mm-hmm. So they have a list of things that they deem okay to happen to you with certain medicines. Mm-hmm. And that can be anywhere from hair loss to blindness for some medicines.
Wow.
Right? So it is up to you as a patient to say, okay, these are my concerns.
Right.
How do we address those in my treatment plan? Mm-hmm. How do we, and then the doctor is put in a position that they have to be more forthcoming with you with your treatment. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, quick example, I wanted to preserve my fertility. Mm-hmm. And so that's the first thing I told my doctors, like, y'all gonna have to figure this out. Mm-hmm. And so now if my doctor offers me a treatment, they're like, okay, well, we recommend that you don't get pregnant. Say, oh, well, you can't give that to me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm not about to take that. Mm-hmm. So come again, refresh your browser and we'll try this again. But that's me advocating for myself. So right. the foundational thing is you're relentless with your advocacy right. for yourself.
Right.
And if you feel like you need help, boyfriends, husbands, fathers, brothers, moms, sisters, whatever support system you have, whether they have to be there on video, whether they can be there with you in person, take somebody with you. Mm-hmm. Take somebody, make this a family affair, make this a close friends affair. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Have somebody listening in on the phone while you're doing your appointment. Mm-hmm. Keep your doctor accountable so you can have a better quality of living. Mm.
Wow, that's a lot of good points that you made. I love the fact that you made the space to make it not just a you thing, but more of a not just a you thing, but more of a everybody thing. So you can create your own support team so that you can advocate for yourself in the way that's best for you in spaces where you weren't able to advocate for yourself.
Right.
So I love the fact that you said that, and I want to, because we're getting ready, coming up on the hour, so we're gonna have to wrap up soon. But to do that, I want to say thank you first of all for sharing not just your knowledge, but also your experience in your space. I don't take that lightly. I thank you for coming up and being so honest and so open with you and your daily struggles at times. So thank you for that. I appreciate you.
No, thank you for having me. It feels really good to be able to reach more people.
Absolutely. So I want to just put a wrap up on everything that was discussed today. So as far as, when it comes to skin inflammation and joint pains and being in spaces where you're intimate with your person, what you said was, first and foremost, communicating to your person that you're having these issues and creating a space where you all have a system where that level of communication is open and clear. And then you
absolutely,
and then you said the same thing when it came to the tips you have for being in the doctor's office, expressing that hey, there is something else going on, creating that space of advocating for yourself but also creating a space where you have people who can advocate for you when you can.
Correct.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add today?
I would. So if anyone has questions about lupus, they can find me on Instagram at Purple for Purpose. You can also find me on Facebook at Fight the Number 4 and Lupus. And you can also find statistics, treatment plans, and some more specific information. The Lupus Foundation of America.org.
Okay.
Great places to pick up information. So if anyone wants to connect with me, they can find me on the IG or the Facebook. If they're looking for more specific advocacy, lobbying to find out about doctors and more specific symptoms, the Lupus Foundation of America is a great place to start.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. We appreciate that, Law. All right, y'all. Well, again, y'all know where Sheina is and how to get in contact with her. But let's not forget, before we say good night, y'all know what's coming next Saturday, right? My workshop. I hope y'all have not forgotten. Sensual Impact Play. If you have not gotten your tickets, go ahead and get them. You do not want to miss your chance for the raffle. When I say it's some good shit, it's some good shit in there.
It's the 24th, right?
Yeah.
I have to see what my schedule is.
Ain't no seed to be your ass in there.
I do need. I can get some toys myself. There was one that you showed on the grams.
Girl, the one that Freddie sent me. Let me cross my legs. Thank you for that, Hydro. Cause sis, I was all right. I rolled my ass right on to sleep. But anywho's guys, June 24th at 9 p.m. at Uncorked Raleigh. Y'all please come through. Come and join us. We a good time as you see me on the show, but in person I'm so much more fun, I assure you. And they'll have food, you'll have drinks, you'll have people. So just come out. It's a fun event to just take it, be with your friends, be with your person. Let's just find give you some tips on how to, explore different pleasures and, find a little pleasure in your pain or a whole lot of pleasure in your pain or your person pain.
Okay.
But yes, y'all, ticket sales online end on the 21st, so do keep that in mind. And if you want to purchase your ticket at the door, of course you can. We're not going to tell you no because I want you to be there. However, there will be a $5 surcharge, so make sure y'all get y'all stuff. Come see me and cut up with me because we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm excited, y'all. I'm really excited about this workshop. I was excited about other, but this one here, y'all, because my girl Jazz, I cannot wait to spank on her booty.
Wrap it up before you get out of control.
I'm already out of control.
We'll wrap it up.
I'm sick of mama over here. All right, mother.
You're welcome.
But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for listening. See y'all Friday after next. Y'all have a good night. And this is Sex Unbanned on TDS Radio. Our voice, our culture.
Hi.